Java server pages. What is the use of JSPs, guys? Anyone? Using JSPs can develop the web applications. Using JSP can develop the web applications. Yes or no? Yes, you can. Using JSPs can develop the web applications. Using JSPs can develop the web application. But one problem is, ma'am, here. Each and every JSP inside the JSPs can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, uh, struct tags, next JSF tags, next. Using JSPs can develop the web applications. Inside the JSPs can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, struct tag, JSF tag, and Spring framework tags. And I can say better words, sir. Third-party framework tag. Third-party framework tags. So using JSPs can develop the web applications. Inside the JSPs can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript like this. Framework tags. So, okay, I mean that using JSPs, we can design the web applications. Inside the JSPs, we can write HTML, CSS, JS, JavaScript tags, and even JSP tags. Got it? So these many features we are having, guys. But problem is each and every JSP, internally, it generates one servlet. Each and every JSP internally generates one servlet. Understand? Each and every JSP internally it generates one servlet. One more time. Each and every JSP internally it generating one servlet. Using JSPs can develop the web applications. Inside the JSPs can write HTML, CSS, structs, third-party framework tags. Each and every JSP internally is generating one servlet. Each and every JSP internally is generating one servlet. So, for example, 100 servlets, 100 JSPs here. How many servlets will generate, ma'am? 100 equivalent servlets. Then what will happen, please? Performance will be degraded or not? Will be generated. So what will happen here? Performance will be degraded. To improve the performance of the application, industry stopped using JSPs. To develop the web applications. Oh, JSP. But can we try to avoid some? No. Why? These many features are there. So JSP we can write HTML, CSS, structs, tags, and all these tags we can write it. So one more time, 100 JSPs, 100 equivalent servlets will be generated. Performance will be degraded. To improve the performance of the application, industry stopped using JSP to develop the Industry stopped using JSP to develop the web application. This is a problem, sir. Please, 100 JSPs, 100 equivalent servlets will be generated. Performance will be degraded. To improve the performance of the application, industry stopped using JSPs to develop the web application. Are you clear? Good. So 100 JSPs, 100 equivalent servers will be generated. Performance will be degraded. To improve the performance of the application, industry stopped using JSP to develop the applications. But can't avoid developing an application, but cannot avoid JSPs part of web application web development. Why? So you know that so many features we can have the JSPs. The only thing is we can't design. This is not preferable because the problem I mentioned. So industry started using JSPs to develop a presentation logic. presentation logic. Presentation logic. To develop a presentation logic, started using using JSPs can started using to develop a presentation logic. Using JSPs can develop presentation logic. Presentation logic, better view for end user. What is the use of presentation logic? Better view for end user. And JSP, once we write HTML tags, CSS tags, JSP tags, dynamic programming, dynamically we can try to develop the web application. Dynamically we can try to develop the web application. Each and every JSP internally is generating one servlet. 100 JSPs, 100 equivalent servers will be generated. Performance will be degraded. To improve the performance of the application, industry stopped using JSPs to develop the application, but cannot avoid JSP part of web development. Using JSPs can develop presentation logic. Using JSPs can develop presentation logic. Presentation logic. Are you clear? Please.
Yes, sir. Sir, degrade ante will be degrade to improve the performance.
Degrade to improve the performance will be degraded. Performance will be degraded తగ్గిపోతుంది అన్నమాట.
Okay.
ఆ విధంగా వస్తుంది. Now, okay then. So that's the reason JSPs we can't avoid, sir. That's the problem. Nothing is there now. Are you clear, everyone? Yes. Is it clear? Good. So now let's try to go for the next step. So now JSPs, why we are trying to using, I hope you understand. Now let's try to go for that. Scripting elements. What is that? Scripting elements. What is the use of scripting elements, guys? Please. Scripting element. So one is scriptlet tag. Scriptlet tag, first one scriptlet tag and less than like this. This is the way. So please try to spend the time and a little bit more and try to work, guys. Scriptlet tag. So here you can try to write Java code. Then, so if you're declaring a variable inside the scriptlet, is act as a local variable noting point. If you declare variable inside the if we declare a variable inside the if we declare a variable inside the if we declare variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. If we declare the variable inside the if we declare variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. If we declare a variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. Scriptlet tag. If we declare a variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. If we declare a variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. If we declare a variable inside the scriptlet, we can call as a local variable. Okay. JVM will assign default value local variables. So these variables will be stored. These variables will be stored internally equivalent servlet service method. Practice service method. అంటే ఒక JSP పేజ్ కి ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఒక ఈక్వలెంట్ సర్వ్లెట్ జనరేట్ అయిందన్నమాట. ఒక JSP పేజ్ కి one equivalent servlet will be generated. Are you clear? One equivalent servlet will be generated. I hope you understand the point, right? Now it's clear, sir, please? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Next. So what about next one? Declarative tag. What is that?
Declarative tag.
So nothing is there. చాలా సింపుల్ అమ్మా ఇది. Declarative tag. What is the use of declarative tag, guys? Please. What is the use of declarative tag?
Create the
So if you
variables.
Right. If you declare a variable, inside the if you declare a variable inside, it's act as a non-static variable. What is that? It's non-static variables, or you can say instance variable. Are you clear? And can define a methods also. What is this? If you declare a variable inside, it acts as a non-static variable, instance variable, and we can define a methods inside the declarative tags. Yes, we can do it. Are you understand, guys? Please. Now, what about next one? చూడండి ఏముంది ఇక్కడ, ఏమైనా ఉందా? Third one, scriptlet expression tag. So what do you mean by expression tag? So it evaluate expression, guys. ఇలా expression tag. అర్థం చేసుకున్నాము. Expression tag. What is the expression tag? Expression tag, generally we can try to use evaluate the expression, evaluate the one expression, single expression. Only one expression can get right. Evaluate the expression. Expression tag. Using expression tag, we can try to evaluate the expression. That's it. Scriptlet tag, declarative tag, declarative.
Sorry, instance variable and static variable is it?
No, instance variable and non-static variable, amma. Static variable difference. Static variable class variables అంటారు.
Yes, correct.
రైట్. నెక్స్ట్ ఇంతేనండి, ఇంకేం లేదు ఇక్కడ, అయిపోయింది. మూడు ట్యాగులతో మీరు ఏమైనా చేయొచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ జేఎస్పి ఇంప్లిసిట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్. ఒకసారి రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి. సర్వ్లెట్ చేసేటప్పుడు మీరు ఏమేమి ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ చేశారమ్మా? ఏమేమి ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసి సర్వ్లెట్ కంటైనర్? నీ సంతోష్, మామూలు ప్రాక్టీస్ సరిపోదు సంతోష్. ఇక్కడ చిన్నగా గుర్తుపెట్టి సరిపోదు, ఎందుకంటే you have to spend a little more time. Please. More practice సరిపోదు. Right. So now can you recall, guys, what are the objects will be created by container? చేసాం కదా లాస్ట్ సర్వర్స్ ఏమేమి క్రియేట్ చేసాం ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ చెప్పండి. సర్వర్స్ లో ఏవో ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసింది కంటైనర్? రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసింది. నెక్స్ట్ అమ్మా
Response.
నెక్స్ట్
print writer,
Service.
print writer,
deleter,
Print writer, sir.
print writer object. Okay. Okay, next
Context. Init.
context. రాసానమ్మా. నెక్స్ట్ init ఎందుకు వస్తాము? నెక్స్ట్ fast. Config. Next. Now, say JSP implicit objects, or we can say the technically well-known variables అండి. కొద్దిగా చదవండి అమ్మా, అసలు నాకు అర్థమవుతుంది సరే చదవట్లేదు అని. Known variables. Well-known variables. You can try to call well-known variables. Then, so here, what are the objects are provided here now? Out. Predefined అండి. మనం ఏ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ చేసి మనకి ఇచ్చారు. Out. The request, the response, config. Next, instead of context, the people is given like application. Got it? Right. So, ఇక్కడ request అంటే ఏముందమ్మా? ఇదిగో Response, print writer, out. Then context, yes. Config కాదు, config. Config. Right. Config like this. Are you clear, please? Guys? Next. So next ఏంటి చెప్పండి. Session. Next. Exception. Right. ఇక్కడ ఏమైందమ్మా? ఇన్ని ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయండి. ఎన్ని మొత్తం లెక్క కౌంట్ చేయండి.
7.
7. Then ఇక్కడ third object ఎన్ని బాగున్నాయి, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎక్కడ పోయింది, రైట్. Then in a third object, so here the same thing, ma'am, I can try to use what? Page. What is this? Page. Page. So page indicating current object. What about next one? Page context. Are you clear, everyone, please? So page context. So using page context, we can try to perform request, session, and contact, application, and session. These are the 4 operations. What we can try to do that using page context also we can try to perform the same operation, guys. Right. So these are the implicit objects. Page and current anamata. So observe cheyandi. When you are working with serverless, certain objects will be created by the container. But in JSP, the people is designed and given to us. Just we should be utilized in our project development. That's it. So what are the implicit objects? Request, session, response, config, application, session, exception, page context. That's it. So these are the implicit objects. Now we can explain what is the out variable.
క్లయింట్ ఎప్పుడైతే రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తారో అప్పుడు రిక్వెస్ట్ వెళ్ళి సర్వ్లెట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ నుంచి రిక్వెస్ట్ తీసుకుంటుంది సార్.
Okay, very good. The response ఏం చేస్తాయి?
సర్వ్లెట్ రెస్పాన్స్ ఇస్తుంది సార్.
Response అనేది it gives a response back to a client.
క్లయింట్.
Very good. So what is the config? Get take request object takes the information coming from a client. Client నుంచి రిక్వెస్ట్ వస్తుంది, ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకోవడానికి రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వాడతాము. రెస్పాన్స్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే రెస్పాన్స్ ఇట్ గివింగ్ ఏ రెస్పాన్స్ బ్యాక్ టు ఏ క్లయింట్. ప్రింట్ రైటర్ ఏం చేస్తామమ్మా? టు ప్రింట్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఆన్ browser or client. So you can use out is a variable we can try to use to print the information on browser. A config ఏం చేస్తుంది? Using a config object, we can get the installation parameters and context object. Yeah, same thing, config. What application? And a context. Using application, we can try to get the context parameters. And next, cert information, just cert and JSP versions. What about session? Using session, yes, we can try to get the session ID. Using session, we can try to get the session ID. And if session is available, it use the session. If not, otherwise, it create a session. Exception. In the application development, if any exception you generate, exception is going to be handled. Page, current JSP. Page and a current JSP page. It's trying to working with current JSP page. Page context. So same thing, sir. Page context, it works like a 4 options, sir. One is request, next response, next application and session. That's it. Scope anamata. Request attribute, set attribute, context attributes we try to use, right? You instead of using this 4 separately, you can try to use page context also. The people is given the extra one. Right. So till now I think is clear. So ఈ విధంగా మనం ఒకసారి ఏదైనా నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఎందుకు వాడుతున్నాం, why we try to use the object, then only we can try to use it, otherwise we can't. మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్తారా, what is request object చెప్పండి అమ్మా ప్లీజ్.
Request encapsulates the request coming from client and process.
Very good ma. Then response
Response gives the response back to a client.